Viewers Global Window Han Kohima de ahine ase aji Nagaland Pollution Control Board presents a talk show on account of International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies on the theme Bridging Policy and Public Action under the National Clean Air Program Npcb. Venue Capital Convention Center Kohima de. This event aims to bring together stakeholders, government officials, civil societies, activists, social workers, youth and media to discuss challenges, share best practices and foster collaborative solution for cleaner air. Ajilaga panelists Khandu Shri B. Hinok Buchem, NCS DC Kohima, Shri Krote Retso NPS SP of Kohima, Shri Hukato Kechishi IFS Member Secretary, Nagaland Pollution Control Board, Dr. Kezalin Osakre, MD Respiratory Medicine, Miss Aningli, Oriental College Kohima, BA third year. Ahibi ajilaga talk show la apore ami kan details pra saisabo.
It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to today's special talk show commemorating the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies 2025, the year we share, bridging the gap between the policy and public action under the National Clean Air Program. Engineers who has been working in the board for the past 15 years and has been playing a vital role in the field of environmental protection and sustainable development. Please join me in welcoming Engineer Agali Esu on the stage.
It is a great privilege and honor for me to deliver this keynote address in commemoration of the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies 2025. This global observance serves as a vital reminder of our shared responsibility to ensure access to clean air, which is a basic human right and an essential component of a healthy and sustainable environment. The International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies is observed annually on 7th September. It was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2019 and first observed in 2020. This day recognizes the critical importance of clean air for the health and daily lives of all people and serves as a platform to raise awareness, encourage action, and promote international cooperation to combat air pollution. For Dimapur and Kohima cities, the various stakeholders involved are the Dimapur Municipal Council, Kohima Municipal Council, East Dimapur Town Council, Chumugidima Town Council, Department of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Urban Development Department, Department of Motor Vehicles, District Administration, Commissioner of Police Dimapur, Superintendent of Police Kohima, District Administration, and Nagaland Pollution Control Board. With all the stakeholders involved in implementing the various action plans to mitigate the air pollution, I would like to emphasize a few points. Achieving clean air is not solely the responsibility of the stakeholders. It is a shared responsibility that rests on each one of us. Only through collective action we can attain a desirable air quality. In the past, Kohima was known for its clean, green and pleasant weather. But over the years, we have begun to feel the changing climate and poor air quality. These changes are not distant threats. They are already here. If you and I do not act now, we will face even more severe consequences for our inaction and unsustainable lifestyles. Air pollution knows no borders, rural or urban, rich or poor. It affects us all. Hence, the responsibility of protecting our environment rests with each of us. Let us remember every breath matters, every action counts. Together, let us commit to building a future where blue skies, clean air, and healthy lives are not aspirations but reality. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today, and welcome to the first ever talk show hosted by Nagaland Pollution Control Board with an aim to create a multi-stakeholder dialogue on pressing urban environmental challenges. And we're here to also understand the enforcement challenges and also bring out possible solutions. The discussion for today's panel will focus on the theme, which is to bridge policy with public action. We have 5 members of the panel here today, and since they've already been introduced, I will not do the introduction again. So let me go into the discussion. My name is Rongsemin Longkamer, and I will be the moderator for this panel discussion. And to guide us through this discussion, I have prepared a set of questions which I will be asking to every one of the panel here, seated here today. And we shall have the discussion, and at the end of this discussion we will also have time for Q&A sessions from the participants here today. As urban population grows, the world is grappling with various issues, challenges, and this can range from, say, traffic congestions. Then we also have the spatial constraints, we have public health issues, and we also have the environmental problems that we have to deal with. Cities all over the world right now, they have moved towards integrating green spaces and environmentally friendly development in their cities. So the first question is for our Deputy Commissioner, Shri Hana Pucham. Thank you for being here with us today. My question is, what are some of the development activities or infrastructures that has been introduced in Kohima City through the district administration?
Good morning to you all. It's an honor and a privilege to be here this morning. Straight to the question. No doubt our Kohima is our state capital. We have improved quite a lot, but many things are still wanting. But insofar as this infrastructure in connection to clean air is concerned, our forest department under Npcb has taken up a vertical garden which runs around 750 meters from Classic Island Junction to Box Cutting Junction. So they have done, and I feel more are yet to be done. And then our district administration and KMC, we are also planning for some urban gardens wherever possible. And then we have this cycling space of cycling which is already developed, especially in our secretariat area. So this is one infrastructure which is already here with us. And we are also contemplating to come up with a pop-up public spaces wherever available. We are thinking about making this all NST junction around that area, and then as well as supermarket road. So we are thinking of not only public road for vehicles, but we are also thinking in terms of making public road for people. So these are the few initiatives that are being undertaken and which are in the pipeline. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a very comprehensive answer. Following that question with regards to the urban spaces, I think the recent order to restrict commercial taxis to enter, the movement of commercial taxis in certain areas of Kohima, this can be considered as a foundational step towards a broader and policy in terms of introducing zero emission zones in the city. So similar to that, and also the things that you have also mentioned earlier, that is in the pipelines for the district administration, what are some of the other things that can also be introduced, or an intervention that can be introduced in the city in the coming days?
You have mentioned about restriction of taxis from Lower Chanmari up to the junction where it comes to Oking Hospital. But we have also, we with the police, when I say we means police and we are always together, we have made Fira Hotel junction up to Assamese Church junction as no parking zone. So if you go by this road, you will not find a vehicle parking on the road. So some time back, our district officials, we have gone around visiting, inspected the whole of Kohima town. We have identified various places where we can make no parking or single lane, double lane. So we have so many things in our mind, but we are taking one step at a time. So Fira Hotel, then Lower Janmari is one, and we will come one after another. We don't want to shake the whole town with the initiative at one go, so we are taking one day at a time. But all these initiatives are also targeted towards making low emission zone. Means less vehicles means low emission. So we are thinking of making roads which are emitting low emission, making air pollution under control. And so these are some of the things. And yesterday, while I was going back to my residence from the office, I saw one EV vehicle and I was so impressed. So we are also thinking about not only shifting towards public transportation, making public transportation more attractive, but we are also thinking about making our public transport converted or taking up EV vehicles. So these are some of the things we have in our mind. And another thing is, no doubt traffic is a huge challenge for us, but you may not know, but behind the scene, the department, we are working on that. We have ICCC in the smart city where the whole of Kohima town is under CCTV camera. And so police, and then they are managing the traffic. So we are trying to integrate into all this technology which are available into practical reality. So these are some of the things that is in the pipeline. Thank you.
So since we're in the line of traffic and zero emission zone, this question is for the Superintendent of Police, Shri Krodi Retho. So the section 192 of the Motor Vehicles Act, it gives a provision of penalizing the polluting vehicles. So the penalties can range from 1,000 rupees to 2,000 rupees. So is this penal provision also in, does it come under the police department? And if so, what has the police department been doing with regards to this so far?
Okay, good morning everyone, and esteemed co-panelists. Coming to your question, Section 190 Clause 2 of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988 provides provision for challenging the vehicles, the drivers of the vehicle owners, which violates the provision of law, which talk about maintaining the road safety, noise pollution, and air pollution. There are many provisions which traffic police and Kohima police we are doing and challenging the vehicle which violates any traffic violations. But particularly coming to air pollution, Section 190 Clause 2 pertains to that provision of law, and police is on the job, and if I have to go back to the last 7 months, starting from 2025, January till now, say for about 7.5 months, traffic police, Kohima Traffic Police has challenged about 107 vehicles. And if we go back to the statistic which Kohima Police is doing, we have booked around 383 vehicles for various violation of traffic rules, particularly pertaining to air pollution under section 190 clause 2. Thank you.
Thank you. So to understand better about the air quality status in our city, Kohima, I would now like to give time to our member secretary, Shri Hokato Chishi, to just give a brief highlight about the status of Kohima city with pertaining to the concentration levels, and also what are some of the possible factors that may be influencing its increase or decrease.
Respected panelists and all the respected participants from different college. In Kohima, we have 4 air sampling stations, and this the Nagaland Pollution Control Board is the since past 15-20 years, the State Pollution Control Board is analyzing the air quality. 4 stations in Kohima. When this Npcb started, the Cpcb, that is Central Pollution Control Board, laid down a certain standard. If a particular city is not attaining that, is not meeting that criteria, those cities are placed under non-attainment city, as it was briefed to us by the keynote during the keynote address. So Kohima happens to be not meeting the standard laid down by the Cpcb. And the baseline taken was to give a comparative figure of the air quality in Kohima during 2020. We have 4 stations in Kohima. The average of air quality is 86, which has not, this figure, it is not meeting the standard. But in 2023, the annual average is 77, and so there is a gradual improvement. And the main factor behind this, the improvement of air quality, we believe that one could be smart city, and one could be the Npcb. Because in Npcb we have so many stakeholders, and in Nagaland, fortunately and unfortunately, we don't have big industries. So the main contributor to air pollution is road dust, and particularly in Kohima town, in Kohima city, because of smart city, I believe it is because of smart city, we have almost all the roads within Kohima city is paved end to end. So what we do is the air dust, the main contributor of air pollution in Kohima and in Dimapur is road dust, and the second factor is vehicular emission. Now, when there is a congestion of traffic, there is vehicular emission. So the traffic, that's where the role of the police, the traffic police comes in, and to reduce the air dust pollution. That's where the role of roads and bridges. And now all the roads within the city comes under urban development. So the road, if in Nagaland, in Kohima, if we can take care of road dust and vehicular emission, since we don't have big industries, we can hope that we can have a very clean air in Kohima city. So it is, though we have not met the standard, there is a gradual improvement of air quality in Kohima city. That's what I would like to convey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Following that, towns and cities in Nagaland, they're rapidly growing and construction is happening everywhere. And studies have also shown that construction and demolition waste contributes to dust pollution as well. And when we talk about dust pollution, we're talking about fine particulate matters, and that affects health and also the environment. Construction and demolition waste management rules have mandated various stakeholders to ensure the sound handling of these the waste. So regarding that, I would like you to give a highlight of one of the most critical and challenging role of the Pollution Control Board, since in the Act it is given that the Pollution Control Boards are supervisory in nature. So along the lines of that, how is the Pollution Control Board monitoring thousands and thousands of small-scale and large-scale construction waste generators in the state so far?
CND, that is Construction and Demolition Waste. CND, Construction and Demolition Waste Rules 2016. It talks about if you are doing any infrastructure development. So there is when you do the construction, it generates dust. So, and during renovation also, it generates dust. So CND is construction and development. The mandate lies with the urban local bodies. In Nagaland, we have 39 urban local bodies. So the site, the space should be given by the urban local bodies. Now, talking about Kohima City, our KMC, we are very happy that the KMC administrator is with us. I think it is in a pipeline to provide a space for processing, collection and processing and safe disposal of CND waste. And coming to Nagaland Pollution Control Board, State Pollution Control Board, throughout the state, the role of a State Pollution Control Board is statutory in nature. And the issue of consent to establish, consent to operate of all the industries you need, the mandate lies with the State Pollution Control Board. So what State Pollution Control Board does is, if anyone willing to start an industry, he or she should apply for CTE, that is consent to establish, and CTO, that is consent to operate. Once the applicants submit DPR to State Pollution Control Board, the technical division, they study the DPR, and this mandate is given to State Pollution Control Board under Water Act and Air Act. Why Water Act and Air Act is because of your establishment, if it is polluting air, the State Pollution Control Board steps in. And if your industry is polluting groundwater because of the effluent generated through your industries, that's where the State Pollution Control Board steps in. So once we receive the application along with the DPR, the technical team, they study your DPR. And if in your DPR, all this environmental control mechanism is incorporated, we issue the CTE, that is consent to establish. And once you established your unit or your industries, after that, only the State Pollution Control Board issues the consent to operate. And in our state, at the moment, we don't have many industries. So that way we are lucky when it comes to environmental aspects. But then we need industries for our economy to grow. So that's where all the stakeholders need to look into it. So sometimes I am from Forest Department. Sometimes we are the obstacle for development to take place, where a lot of environmental clearance is required. but then sticking to the rules and guidelines and the notification, sometimes we fail to give the environmental clearance or consent to establish. But at the same time, our economy need to grow, but at the same time, we should take care of our environment as well. So the mandate of basic pollution control is that applicant, you come with your application. If your DPR is not meeting the standard of environmental norms, we do not give. And we advise that these are the environmental norms, these are the mechanisms you should incorporate in your DPR, and it should be incorporated in your industry. And then only we issue the consent. And even after the consent is issued, we Nagas, because of it is very good, we have a close-knit community, but that is very good. Unless, till this point of time, we receive a complaint from the citizen, from the public. Till now, we have not taken any action, but as and when we receive the complaint from the public, from the citizen, we do take action. And there are many instances where we have shut down some industries, one here and there. So this is a request to all the students. If you come across any industries or any big industries, small industries, you see that they are violating the environmental norms, you are always welcome and lodge the complaint to State Pollution Control Board. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I move on to the question, just a quick reminder regarding the box. So this box, we want to collect ideas from you all. Throughout the session, when you're listening to us, if an idea comes to your mind of what you want to do or what you would like us to do in your city and what challenges or what problems you would like us to tackle, kindly please note it down and drop it in the box as you leave the program. Coming back to the discussion, this question is for Dr. Kezolino Sakre. We are in an era where we see even children having respiratory problems. They're born with respiratory issues, asthma, and also adults. We have seen adults with such chronic respiration problems over the past few years. And in the cities, just not Kohima, but in all the cities, we've only been seeing that the data of air pollution only increases. So from your experience as a medical practitioner, what is the status of Nagaland or even Kohima city with pertaining to respiratory illnesses, and can you give us a brief highlight or paint a picture of cases relating to respiratory illnesses?
Good morning everyone and my esteemed co-panelists. Today I am here as a clinician to share my perspective and my experiences and observation of the ill effects of air pollution on our health. You know, because of the increased pollution, it has led to the poor air quality. Now this poor air quality is having a very detrimental effects on our health, especially on the respiratory system. And from my experience, I would say that in the last 5 to 6 years, and just now as my other co-panelists have mentioned, that our air quality index have not, it is in the non-attainment cities. So it is not very bad also, it is below 100, but still it is just satisfactory. So I was correlating this thing, and in the last 5 to 6 years, I have observed that because of this increased air pollution, we are seeing more of upper as well as lower respiratory tract symptoms, not only in children also, but as well as in adults. Like they come with cough, shortness of breath, sneezing, and you know that wheezing sound in the chest. And one very interesting thing about this is patients are able to correlate their symptoms with the pollution. As our respected sir has just said now, the main pollution in our state, especially in Kohima and Dimapur, is road dust. Now we don't need sophisticated instruments to measure. It is sometimes visible, especially in the winter season, or you know, from October to February. It is visible to the naked eye also. So you know, just imagine how much harm it can go and do inside our body. So what we have observed that, and in all the age group, from the young children to the adults, especially you know, we have seen an increase in the upper and lower respiratory tract infection. We are suffering from more infection. Why? Because you know, the air pollution, even our lung is fighting against all these particulate matters, all these physical chemical agents in the air. So even our lung defense mechanism, it becomes overwhelmed. And especially in younger children, the development of the lung is also hampered. So they become more prone and susceptible to this kind of infections. And especially children with asthma, they are also having more hospital visits in a year. Parents are coming and saying, my child is having asthma for the last 10 years. But symptoms are controlled, but since the last 2 to 3 years, again, especially in this dusty season and all, he is getting attacks more frequently. And then again in adults also, having pre-existing lung diseases like asthma, chronic lung diseases like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, they are having more hospital visits. Even they are getting hospital admissions. Now the attacks, frequency of the attack is more. And then, all these vulnerable groups, they are also at a higher risk. So from my experience, I can definitely say that, and taking all this observation into account, I can definitely say that we can now see the effects of air pollution on our health. And now let me cite an example. I was working in Naga Hospital for 15 years, but recently I have been transferred to Kusama District TB and Chest Diseases Hospital. So the stretch between Wisama and Kusama, it is very dusty. Kusama is a small village. So from last year, I could see that children, they come with chronic cough, dry cough. We are taking so many medicines. Our X-ray is normal, but this cough is not stopping. So now the parents are saying, not only children, but even we are having because of the dust. They themselves are telling me the reason. So there is a correlation. Even the patient can make out that. So this air pollution is not good for our health. So I can definitely and positively say that in my observation and the data from the hospital, we can say that the cases of air pollution related respiratory illness is decreasing.
Thank you, ma'am. So just for our general awareness, is there any policies in the state that is pertaining or that is addressing specifically environmentally related illnesses or climate change related illnesses in the state?
Okay, from not only from now but from before, our hospitals have a policy and mechanism in place. First and foremost, every hospital has this infection control committee. So the role of this committee is to make sure that best practices are implemented in the hospital so that prevention of transmission of infection to the patient as well as to the health workers is prevented. Now, under this ICC, infection can be transmitted through air, through water, through vector-borne direct contact, blood-borne. So air transmission is a very important component of this committee. Now, when we say air pollution, we are not only talking about the physical and chemical agents, we have the biologic agents. Air can become polluted even by these pathogenic bacteria, viruses. So all this also comes under that. So now the infection control committee is to foresee that best practices are implemented in the hospital. And now recently we have 2 district TB and chest diseases hospital. One is in Kusama and another one is in Mokokchung. So under the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, we have this air infection control committee. So here we do interventions to make sure that infection through air is prevented in the hospital to the patients as well as to the healthcare workers. And we have various components under this. We have the respiratory protection, we have the administrative control, and we have the environmental control. So in the environmental control, we talk about the ventilation, we talk about how the hospital is kept clean. So all these things are there. Now, another important policy in context to this is under the National Center for Disease Control, under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Under that, we have this national program on climate change and human health. So they started implementing this health adaptation plan for diseases due to air pollution in 2021. So they are actively implementing that one, and even our state is implementing that one. So it was started with just 4 hospitals in Delhi in the beginning. But now it has become evolved into a nationwide network with encompassing 175 sentinel surveillance sites. Okay. Under this, they have this this focus area. So one of the focus area is air pollution related respiratory illness sentinel surveillance plan. So under this, they do strict monitoring and surveillance of all these respiratory illness which are related to the air pollution. So in Nagaland, we have 3 sentinel surveillance sites. One is in Naga Hospital, Kohima. Another one is in IMDH, Mogochung. And the third one is in the District Hospital, Dimapur. So at present, we are having 3 sentinel surveillance sites, but the government is planning to add 7 more district hospitals to that. So at present, these are the policies implemented in our state to fight diseases related to the air pollution.
Thank you, ma'am. That answer was quite insightful for us as well, because we were not aware of all these things that are in place. Coming to our student representative who will be speaking on behalf of the youth, I have a question for you, and it is, as a young person living in Kohima, how directly do you or your peers feel the impact of pollution or various other environmental pollution in your daily lives?
Good morning, everyone. Respected co-panelists, answering to your question. Environmental pollution. As we all know, environmental pollution affects each and every individual, since it does not discriminate age, race, gender, social or economic status. On personal ground, I feel that environmental pollution impacts me, specifically when it comes to air pollution. With the mounting up of vehicular movements in and around Kohima town, the emission of carbon monoxide has been on the rise, and which I feel is adversely affecting my health conditions and the public in general. Another unsettling impact is the plastic pollution. As we all know, since Kohima town is also jockeying with the plastic, and there is no proper mechanism for its disposal, and as every household burns the garbage in an open area, it leads to the emission of harmful and toxic gases, which in turn ends up in our body as we breathe those harmful and toxic gases, which also in the long run may pose the risk of health problems in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aningle. So while we only understand policy at the surface level, it is the people who are seated here today who understand it at the heart of the policy development level. But one thing which I want the participants to know is that there is always a significant gap when it comes to the policy formulation and also implementation on the ground. So the next set of questions that I'll be asking to each member of the panel here will focus on what are some of the enforcement challenges or policy implementation challenges that every sector faces. Here, the first question is to the Deputy Commissioner. So as the head of the district administration, what specific mechanisms have you found most effective in ensuring national level and also state level directives? For example, like ban on single use of plastic or complying to waste management, in order to ensure that these directives are just not communicated, but also the citizens and business owners and stakeholders are complying to these. So what are some of the specific mechanisms that you've taken up so far?
Ironically, yesterday I was having a meeting in my office for food safety. So the interesting issue came out was that as far as food is concerned, we have a choice whether to take or not take, drink or not drink. But here we have no choice, like our student representative has said. Now when it comes to all this solid waste management or single-use plastics, this is a big challenge insofar as Kohima is concerned. So through this channel, which I wanted to encourage is, see, when it comes to solid waste management, it begins from a kitchen. So we have primarily two items, either it's biodegradable or non-biodegradable. So as far as biodegradable is concerned, no need for us to send it to KMC or to colony trucks like that. If you have a compound, tap a pit, and it can convert into manure in the long run. As far as the other side is concerned, non-biodegradable material are concerned, we send it through this KMC dumping site. But again, the problem and challenges at the moment we have is we have this solid waste management plant in Lere. My colleague from KMC is here, but KMC is working hard to make it operational. So once it is operational, the biodegradable, non-biodegradable will be taken care of. So that is one factor. So another is we have this fecal sludge plant in Merima, which is also on they are working hard to make it operational. So these are some of the challenges we have, and just a few days ago, the Assembly Committee for Environment and Climate Change has decided that Kohima, we should decide not to release the septic tank into our nalas and rivers. But again, it has got its own challenges. You see, the cesspool cannot reach the particular location. And then there is no inroad for cesspool to reach. So all these practical problems are there, for which I feel the best mechanism is collaboration. And in this area, the stakeholders, whether it's the colony people or the citizens, and especially the stakeholders, the NGOs, the civil society organizations, has a big say in all this matter to convince our people and bring about all this, some meaningful, tangible changes. Otherwise, as we seated in the administration or police, we usually considered ourselves to be a regulator, but many times we end up playing a role of a catalyst, a convener, a mobilizer, try to motivate the people. So we are trying our level best, but the best thing is the behavioral change in the mindset of our people should begin from our kitchen, how to bifurcate, dissect between these two items that I talked before, and the behavioral change, taking responsibility. Otherwise, no matter how government tries, it boils down to the individual, to the citizen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question will be for our Superintendent of Police, Sir Claudie. Effective traffic regulation is key to ensuring, to tackling congestions and also pollution at the same time. So in the city of Kohima, what are some of the systemic challenges that you have faced so far that hinders the enforcement of traffic regulations?
Well, the main thrust of the police force is to enforce law and order, crime investigation. But apart from those two, for Kohima Police, traffic management is one of the biggest challenges we are facing. And as we are all aware, the key factors that brought about the challenges for traffic management is, firstly, the ever-increasing number of vehicles. It is very significant and visible, we all can see. Secondly, in order to manage the traffic flow in a town and to ease the congestion, then the road surface in the town should be smooth. And as we see presently the condition of the town roads, there are many potholes which slow down the movement of the traffic. And that also causes more traffic congestion. And because the potholes, the vehicles slow down, then the consumption of fuel also increases. When the consumption of fuel increases, naturally the emission of gases from the vehicle will also increase. That also impacts the quality of air in the town. So those are the two key challenges, and the observation has been made by our co-panelist, our secretary. Apart from those two, we also observed that on the side of both the road, the left and right side, the mud is also exposed, not being paved or carpeted. So on a very dry day, as shared by our doctor also, the dust particle that mix because of the movement of vehicle, we could visibly see that also, which are also causing the air pollution in the town and are impacting the air quality. And those are three key challenges we are facing. And the solution, there's no complete solution to that traffic management. But as DC has shared earlier, one solution could be that we have police in collaboration with the Kohima Smart City. We have one integrated command and control center. We call it ICCC. That is located in Smart City Kohima office. And ICCC command center has placed 166 CCTV cameras in all the important junctions in Kohima town. And through that, we have placed our traffic personnel in the command center. So real-time inputs and information are being passed to the traffic personnel on ground to regulate the flow of traffic. Wherever there is a traffic congestion, the information is being passed on real time, and that has become handy for our traffic management also. And as I said earlier, as mentioned, I think to be able to ease the traffic jam would be, we have already under discussion with DC also and impressed upon the concerned department is to fill the potholes and make the surface smooth so that there will be easy flow of smooth flow of traffic in the town. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So while regulatory enforcement is crucial, there is complexity in ensuring that we acknowledge it, that there's complexity in ensuring enforcement, and this requires collaborative efforts. District administration alone, or superintendent of police, the police department alone, or even Npcb alone will not be able to do it. So in this case, how can all stakeholders, starting from the government level to the civil society organizations to the citizens, how can we all work together to improve the quality of living in Kohima City? And this question is open to all of you. Anyone who wants to answer, you can take up one after the other.
Well, as I have already mentioned earlier, the main challenges that we are facing, because traffic congestion and the air pollution is interlinked. And in this regard, I think we should be having more awareness campaign, because awareness is the key to all these factors. And in this regard, I want to mention to all the students who are present here also, and to everyone here, that specifically to us as police people, we also want to let everyone be aware that responsible driving, responsible parking, driving etiquettes, and vehicle quality, maintenance of vehicle quality standards are very key to traffic management. That will directly or indirectly impact in sustaining the air quality in the town. Thank you.
I'd like to come in on this topic, a very good question. That's the very reason why today we are here together, of different age group, or from different walk of life, from different departments. And the very concept of NCAP is that because of this air pollution, it cannot be addressed by by a single group of people or by a single department or by an individual. That's the reason why NCAP, this program, is a collaborative effort. And in NCAP, you'll find minimum 7 to 8 implementing agencies to address the issue of air pollution. That's where the students and civil societies and roads and bridges, the healthcare, the police, the district administrator, the urban development, municipal affairs. This should be a collective effort. Then only we can resolve this issue. And the very important aspect is an individual. You and I, as a citizen of our state and a citizen of our country, we have a big role to play. We cannot all depend on the government machineries to take care of this issue. That's where we should all be a part in improving our air quality. Thank you.
Let me chip in here. So the question was about government, then civil society organization, and about the citizen. Both the three parties have equal role to play. Government should ensure transparent administration and installation of various basic infrastructure like our SP has just mentioned. These are the responsibility of the government to ensure that infrastructure is okay and everything is in place, law and order is okay. But again, the role of civil society is again very paramount. Their participation, their monitoring, and then their ability to mobilize the people. That is a very important factor for Kohima people, Kohima especially. The role of CSOs are very important. And coming to citizen has a very, very important role to play. Not only giving feedback to the government, but also participate and also, like I said earlier, each citizen need to go for behavioral change. For example, you drive your car, you park it on the roadside, and the two lanes is disturbed. So what I mean to say is, citizen, we should not always ask for our rights, but we should also be aware of our duties, the rights of others. And you eat something on the road, and you throw it from the window. Such kind of irresponsible behavior, if any, we should stop and think about the rights of other people. So, as and when we have that change, the citizen change, the CSO are more participatory, and then the government come up with their role, then if we have such kind of mentality, then we will have a very robust and participatory monitoring ecosystem which will lead us forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This question is for Madam Catalino. So I wanted to ask you of what are some of the ways that citizens can keep themselves protected from possible long-term respiration issues or any sort of environmental pollution-related problems in the future.
Just now, as my other co-panelist has stressed enough upon, it all comes down to the individual, of course, community participation, multi-sectoral, comprehensive, all these are important, but at the end of the day, it comes to the individual behavior and how the individual also contribute to the problem. No problem, individuals should be a part of the solution, okay, not the problem. So when we talk about air pollution, now we are thinking only when we go out, but air pollution can be indoor air pollution or outdoor air pollution. And most of the time we spend inside our own house. So the responsibility should start from inside, and these are the preventive measures which we can take to prevent ourselves from our risk of more exposure to the pollutants. Now, coming to our homes, especially in the kitchen, most of us are using now fuelless, smokeless fuels. But we should avoid using these biomass fuels like coal, wood, and all those. But in case you are using that, also make sure that the cooking area is properly ventilated. And now, just a simple everyday thing, we are very fond of using room fresheners. So even these room fresheners, they consume the oxygen in the vicinity. So avoid using room fresheners. And the third one is like avoid burning these incense sticks or mosquito if there is no proper ventilation, mosquito coils. Now if you are burning that also, make sure that your room is properly ventilated. And in Nagaland, again in our context, especially during the winter season, we used to burn coal. But we should not burn it in a closed, confined places. Make sure that windows are properly open, it is well ventilated, otherwise there is a risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. We get cases of carbon monoxide poisoning in the hospital, usually in the winter months also. Now, another very important thing, if there is a smoker in your house, a smoker. So I would like to, since today lots of young people are here, I would like to tell you, don't take up the habit of smoking. Smoking causes harm to not only to the smoker yourself, but it harms the people around you, plus you are contributing to the air pollution also. See, if you have to smoke, we cannot control personal habits, but if you have to smoke, you go outside and smoke. Otherwise, in a family or in a household, if there is a smoker, you are smoking and the smoke is being inhaled by people around you. And this passive smoking, you are not smoking, but you are inhaling the smoke, cigarette smoke of someone else. So that is called passive or second-hand smoking. So that is also have a very detrimental effect on our health. It can cause asthma, it can cause chronic lung diseases also, and even lung cancer. And suppose you are having some vulnerable populations in your household, children less than 5 years, their lungs are developing and maturing. So if they are chronically exposed to that cigarette smoke for a long time, even their lung development will be hampered. And then another thing is we are very fond of burning things outside our house. Once the waste is out of my house, it's not my responsibility. So we will burn the plastic waste, we will burn the leaves, crop residues, so avoid burning that one also. And see, we don't have to go too much into detail also, but if someone smoke near you, what happens to you? Some people will get headache, some people will get nausea. Then, some people will start sneezing, coughing. So these are the immediate effects, but long-term effects can be have far more reaching consequences. And we used to think that now we have got our scientists here, so they will be able to explain it better to you, but we should avoid jogging early in the morning or in the late evening. So you will think that early morning air is very clean, but they said 7 to 9 research, and from 9 to 10 p.m. at night. Because of the lower temperature and wind factor here, the pollution, particulate matter is more in the air. And if there are days of very high pollution, now like as we have mentioned before, you can see the road dust, you can see the dust haze. During those days, avoid strenuous physical activity or avoid doing physical exercise during those days. And especially for those with pre-existing lung disease, cardiovascular disease, you should be extra more careful than the normal people. So all these things are some of the preventive measures, and above all, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and we should eat lots of fruits and vegetables which are rich in antioxidants, because among the pollutants, ozone, O3, that is one of the major pollutants in the atmosphere also. So these are there are something called free radicals. They will go and cause tissue inflammation, damage your tissue. So for that, you need to have a healthy diet, rich in fruits and vegetables, having lots of antioxidants. And above all, maintain adequate hydration for your body by drinking enough water. So these are some of the measures which you should take to protect yourself from the risk of high exposure.
As such, burning of waste has penal provisions as well. If you are found to burning waste, you are liable to pay a fine. And when we talk about paying fines and penalization, The Nagaland Pollution Control Board has also been mandated to ensure that these are complied to. So this question is for our member secretary, Sir Hukato. As a regulatory board, what are some of the approaches that the board has done in order to ensure that every single citizen or every stakeholder is complying to the rules, the rules that are mandated in these acts?
Coming to burning of waste, debris in the street or in the open space, this is not only the mandate of the Pollution Control Board, but this mandate also lies with all the urban local bodies, because the ULBs, the state action plan and city action plan is prepared by the ULBs, and as per the Solid Waste Management Rules 2016, the power is given to respective urban local bodies to frame guidelines, to frame rules, and impose penalties specified by the respective urban local bodies. So the amount to be penalized should be specified, and it should be in the action plan. That is also a role of the ULB and the State Pollution Control Board all across the country. The mandate is given to State Pollution Control Board to monitor and to control and penalize also. And in this aspect, we have conducted one or two awareness. We're trying to reach out to different target groups, saying that burning of your debris in the open space or throwing into water bodies or into streams. And there is a specific provision in the Solid Waste Management 2016 rules. So yes, the State Pollution Control Board, we are trying our best. As I said earlier, we have conducted 2 or 3 awareness regarding this burning of debris waste in the open space. So this is really normal, because we Nagas, we still do it when winter comes, starting from the month of October. We start to clean our compound, and in the evening, we all burn it. It is still going on, so we need to, as our DC has rightly pointed out, this behavioral change. It is very important. It is very important. We need to change that habit of burning our debris in the open space. We as a citizen, we as an individual, we are all waste generator, and it is our responsibility, and it is the responsibility of ULB. You as a waste generator, it is your responsibility to segregate your waste. And once you segregate your waste, again the responsibility of the urban local bodies to come and collect the waste from the waste generator and take it to the, now we call it dump site. We call it to the dump site, or we call it the processing site. So the ULB, they take it to the site, they process it and dispose it. So all the waste generator at source, you should segregate your waste and give it to the urban local bodies. Urban local bodies will process your waste, and the respective urban local bodies will dispose your waste scientifically. And the concept is only the 10% of our waste, our debris, should go to the scientific landfill. So that's where this segregation at source plays a very important role. Thank you.
Today's session, so I will wrap it up with one last question for our youth representative here. Meanwhile, kindly think about what you would like to ask, or if there's anything that you would like to ask, I would request you all to raise your hands first. The microphone will come to you, so kindly be patient. So you're here today as a youth representative, and young people, we are often seen as the future, like we hold the future, but it is to be noted that we are very much a stakeholder currently today. So on that note, if there is a particular commitment you have that you would want the people here today, the prominent members of the different departments here today, if you have any commitment in mind which you would like to propose to them and see if they would be willing to commit to it. If there's anything you would like to ask, then now you can take the time.
Thank you. I would like to believe that every challenge comes with opportunity. In essence, the environmental pollution can be a door of opportunity for the youths of Kohima and Nagaland in general to tackle the unemployment problem and to address the pollution issue. I would like to respectfully propose to the officials on this panel that they initiate a skill training program for the youths to produce or manufacture sustainable products by using biodegradable materials, especially bamboos, as we all know that Nagaland is blessed with lots of bamboos. Bamboos can be used to manufacture food packaging, boxes, cups, spoons, plates, and many other sustainable products which can be reused in extent of the plastic disposable products that is flooding the markets of Kohima town. In other words, offering financial assistance to the youths who wants to start up their own business, especially in regard to eco-friendly and sustainable products.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll keep in mind the commitments, and I believe that the members here will deliberate on it, and hopefully in the future we will collaborate and work something on it, and something will come out of this program that we had today. The main focus of this panel discussion was to create a dialogue between the different departments, the youth, the citizens, and the participants here today. On that note, I would like to open the time for panel discussion, for the Q&A session. We have about 30 more minutes left, so as much as we can, we will accommodate your questions. So if anyone would like to ask a question, kindly raise your hands.
Simran from the Land Pollution Control Board. Before the student take time, I'd just like to raise one question to ma'am. It was around 10 years back, we received a complaint from a public complaint regarding stone crushers in public area. So we had monitored and we had done some small study near two villages. So it was in a populated area and really they were effective. But we all know the land holding system in Nagaland. Since this is my land, it's my Kushi. So that was the case. So it was very difficult for us. So at that time we received a letter regarding information on silicosis. Silicosis, that is a disease caused by stone dust. So it was very informative. Then later on we also published the pamphlet and we educate the areas and in Timapur town also. So I just want to know, since you are from that field, whether such disease has been diagnosed in Kohima or in Nagaland, and whether if your department has taken up any study regarding epidemiological study.
One question. I forgot to mention in the policy one. Actually, under the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, there is a silicosis reporting. If we diagnose any case of silicosis, we have to report it to the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. So I think 10 years back, I was working in Naga Hospital. So that time also there was this reporting system for silicosis. And I think there was some, I don't know, I'm not very sure, but there was, along with the labor department, if any silicosis case has been diagnosed, we have to, notify the case, and the labor department has some, compensation for the patient also like that. But like you said, we diagnosed those 10 years back, 3 or 4 cases of silicosis. But when we ask the patients, see, your disease is because of how. First, we asked the occupational disease. So 3 of them, I remember correctly. So they have been working in the stone quarries for almost 10 years. Now, when we ask, just to fill up the data and for the information, when we ask what is the on who is the owner of this quarry. Now, their answer stop. So we said, no, we are not going to take action against the stone crushing the quarry owners, but for our data we have to compile this. But the patients are not very forthcoming in that also. And then, see, for silicosis to develop, there is a certain level of silica particles which has to be present in the environment. Now, when we asked the Nagaland Pollution Control Board, they say that we don't, not me directly, but we have to know that this, because of this, it got silicosis. And to get silicosis, this particular matter of silica, the concentration has to be this much. So, regarding to that, since we didn't have the data, we asked someone, not me directly, but some of my senior asked, but they said, we don't go to the stone quarries. No, we don't have that mechanism in place to go and make that monitoring. So from there, the story ended because no data is there. Patients are not willing, but anyway, we report the cases to the authority. Now also last 2-3 years or so, we have diagnosed 2 to 3 cases of silicosis. So we are collecting the cases, but to have a complete study, to make a study, we need to have all the data, and we have to make sure that there is a causal relationship between the development of silicosis in this patient, that it is 100% related to this because of his workplace. And for that, we need the concentration of the silica particles in his workplace, which we are not doing at the moment. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Npcb, and I'm representing Kohima College. My question to the panel is how the traffic police and the Npcb planning to solve the problem of air pollution, as we know that Kohima has a high traffic problem, and I believe it is impossible to ban cars completely. So what are your ideas on lowering the use of vehicles? Thank you.
There's a traffic problem, but everyone has to play a role. Now, some of the steps which we all can work is, let us concentrate more on public transportation. Instead of taxi, instead of your own private car, why not we travel by buses? That is one thing. Another thing is, in order to reduce this pollution, if in due course of time, if you can shift over to the electronic vehicles, EV vehicles, that will take care of the air pollution. Another thing is, make the road as far as possible low emission zones. That means the road make less for the vehicles to travel. For like example, I was citing about Fira Hotel and that lower January, that if you can reduce the flow of vehicle, then less vehicle means less pollution. So if you can more and more identify the roads where we can make it less for the vehicle, then that will contribute to the clean air. Another thing is, if we can adapt to using cycles, that is another challenge. And I'm happy that more of students are here. The students are the best teacher. My sons and daughter keep reminding me about not to chew tobacco, not to indulge in drinking, not to pollute the road. They are the ones to park it on the right side, right location. So, likewise, I keep telling in our departmental meetings, teach to the children, and they are the right person who will keep reminding us. And I am happy that 80% of the students are here. So take it from here. You have, especially since most of you are students, I want to address to you. You have eco club in schools and colleges. Make use of this eco club. Just don't make it as a, just like any other club. Make use of it. Get together and decide, plan how to make your group more visible. Do some plantation, do some gardening, do some greening, and if possible, come up with a decision that, okay, once in a week or twice or once in a month, let us decide not to use vehicles. Or come up with a decision, okay, let us start using cycling. And all that, if you can come up, I think you can be the great engine for the clean air here in Nagaland. Thank you.
Of air pollution, our DC has rightly pointed out, encouraging use of electrical vehicle, and I think it is a very good solution. And to start with that, to have a beginning, as a policy outcome of this discussion, what we can suggest to the government is to encourage use of electrical vehicle. What our state government can do is waive off the registration of all the electrical vehicle in Nagaland. If all the panelists agrees, we can suggest this to the government. Well, yes, we have discussed in the past, we have discussed this with the government, but it will add more weightage if we can, an outcome of today's session, to request the government or to put pressure upon the government, or the students, once you go back to the college, you can also be the voice. Tell the government, we need to improve our air quality in our cities, in our towns, in Nagaland. So to achieve that, there are many ways. Our DC has he elaborated in a very, it was a good elaboration. Those are the steps, those are the factors we should focus on to improve the air quality. So, and one more, this coming to electrical vehicle. You can be the voice, tell the government, request the government to encourage the electrical vehicle, and please waive the registration fee for anyone using the electrical vehicle. So that can be one factor to improve the air quality in our place. Thank you.
This talk show is just not for Kohima. We are having the Dimapur edition on September 9, for which you are all welcome to attend. This talk show was initiated with an aim to provide a platform for all important stakeholders with regards to ensuring a better city and also ensuring healthier living for all of us. So with that, we hope that in the future, the outcomes of this particular talk will materialize into something actionable that we can all take up in our own spaces, in our own capacities, and we look forward to your collaboration and cooperation in the future. Before I forget, I would also like to thank the representative from KVYO for being here today. I really appreciate the suggestions that you have given to us, and we, the members in the panel and the important people here today, will definitely look into the suggestions, and we look forward to working with you in collaboration in the future as well.
So viewers, apni khan dikhi paise aji laga talk show laga upore more than 200 plus students, government officials, stakeholders, civil society, activists, social worker, youths khan shamil thagishe. Aji laga main talk show laga highlight laga uporo the urgent need to reduce air pollution and promote suitable practice for better air quality. Yede UN members can be recognized screen at dunia de salbor manubishi murigine ase to pollution related death illness. Itu gane tahan UN members can be recognized screen by the year 2030. Itu laga mura laga bimar laga opore eliminate kuribo goini bi janai dishe. Aro Dimapur aro Nagaland laga bitore air pollution bishi thaga do bishi bakto dust pollution da aro vehicle emission kane ase koini bi janai di ase. Ajigane manase. For more news and update, keep watching Global Window. This is your reporter Yaungamla with my camera person Anungai Jamir reporting from Capital Convention Center, Kohima.
Mahindra XUV 3XO. Everything you want and more.